moving away from Octopus Go Faster to Octopus Tracker. How does it compare? Let's find out for charging your EV. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again with another kind of car finance related video for you. Very, very quick. It's going to be on the fly. I hope it's going to make sense. But about 2 weeks ago, my really fantastic Octopus Go Faster tariff came to an end, unfortunately. And I was paying, believe it or not, 5.5p for 5 hours of overnight charging. In my case, it wasn't really overnight. It was 8:30 in the evening until 1:30 in the morning. So it was very good for load shifting, sticking the tumble dryer on, that kind of thing. And the daytime rate was 15 odd p. And now that came to the end at the end of April. And I was toying with the idea of going on to Octopus Intelligent or Octopus Tracker. Now, I joined the waiting list for Octopus Tracker, both gas and electric, a while ago, and really fortunately I'd got the email a couple of days before my current Octopus Go Faster tariff was going to come to an end, saying that I could join Tracker. Now, it's a no-brainer at the moment. Obviously, this is only my opinion, but if you do a little bit of digging and look at the Octopus Tracker tariff, for gas, certainly since I've been on it, I've been averaging probably about 4.5p a unit, which when you think the price cap is over 10p a unit, that is significantly cheaper. Obviously, it can go through the roof. There is a cap on it, but it doesn't fall under the same kind of criteria as the current energy price cap. So things can go higher. I started looking at the electricity tracker as well. And again, certainly for the past few months, it's been averaging around 20p a unit. Now, when you think the price cap is 32p a unit, I thought to myself, is it worth going on to something like Octopus Intelligent when Tracker is so favourable at the moment? In fact, today's rate, let me just tell you what today's rate was on the electricity. The electricity today was 18.56p per kilowatt hour, and the gas was 4.29. So you can see that it can, depending on how much charging you do, and that's what I'm going to talk about today, in my opinion, at the moment only, work better to go on to Tracker. So let's have a look what it would cost to move to Octopus Intelligent. So I did a quick search, and you can see there that now, fortunately, in the last couple of weeks, this has dropped. It was 10p a kilowatt hour. It's dropped to 7.5, and the day rate was 40 something. That's dropped to 39.27. So if I was to go on to Octopus Intelligent, I would pay 7.5p per kilowatt hour, always between the hours of 11:30 in the evening and 5:30 in the morning. But the way Intelligence works is that when you plug your car in, it decides on a charging schedule each day. Now, the idea is, and I haven't done this, but you plug your car in after 5 p.m. and you say, right, I need a full charge, or I need 80% charge by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And what that will do is it will determine a smart charging schedule where it might start at midnight and then stop again a bit. It might start again at 3 o'clock. It might stop a little bit. But sometimes it will give you an extra 7.5p per kilowatt hour in this case outside of that core time. So it might give you some cheaper tariff from, say, 6 p.m. until 8 a.m. in the morning. But let's assume that we're going to go on the standard 7.5p for 6 hours. And in the daytime rate, it's 39.27, and the standing charge is 48.66. So let's assume that we look at my previous energy use for the last 7 days. Now, if I go onto my Octopus app, which is here, you can see this. So over the last 7 days, you can see that. Whether you can see that. Oh, but basically, I've used 85.9 kilowatt hours. Now, that's for everything. We tend to charge every night, and we do about 30 miles a day. So let's say if we nip over to Excel, I'm going to do a little bit of fag packet maths here. So let's say we do, I think it's more like 25 miles a day. So we do 25 miles a day. And let's say we average 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That means we need to charge 25 over 4. So we need about 6.25 kilowatt hours a day to charge our electric vehicle. So if I take an average day, I can see that I am probably averaging about 15 kilowatts a day, including charging the car. So if we're drawing 6.25, that means so that's for our EV. And let's say during for every other appliance, we, what did we say? An average of 15. So we're going to use 15 minus that. So we're going to use 8.75 kilowatt hours for everything else. So everything else. So my thoughts were, in this case, and if we were charging 50 kilowatts a day, obviously it would be cheap to go on Intelligent. But I was looking at the tracker tariff. So I said to myself, which is going to be better roughly for us? So if we were on Intelligent, where we were charging our car between, this is my previous tariff, 8:30 to 1:30 a.m. 5.5p. So that's just a reference. That's what we were on, and it was ridiculously cheap. But let's put in Intelligent here. So Intelligent, if I could spell it, is 11:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. at 7.5 pence. And everything else, daytime, is 39.27. Right, so let's say we were charging our car 6.25 kilowatt hours in this case. So that would cost us on Intelligent 6.25 multiplied by 7.5 pence. So that would cost us 47 pence, which is brilliant. And then in the daytime, we said, in my case, I use about 8.75 kilowatts. So 8.75 times 39.27 is 343 pence. So can I turn that into currency? No. Let's divide that by 100. There we go. Okay. So you can see that if I was to use Octopus Intelligent and I was to charge for 6.25 kilowatt hours to charge my car and 8.75 kilowatt hours for everything else, this is obviously getting into summertime, so the boiler's not running much. Normally our usage would be probably more like 10 or 12 daytime plus the charging, but we're in May 2023, so we'll use current data. So our total is going to be that plus that, plus a standing charge of 48.66. So standing charge 0.4866, which gives us a total of that. So that gives us, that's not right, is it? Sorry, that's completely wrong. Let's do that again. That equals that to that. So that equals £4.39 a day if I was to use Octopus Intelligent. However, if I was to use Octopus Tracker, and now what I need to do is find the standing charge for Octopus Tracker. Bear with me. Because believe it or not, this is actually cheaper. I do believe, if I can find it, is it? Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where I can find it. I think it's definitely lower. Hang on a minute. Maybe I'll find it on here. Bear with me. I said this would be a bit off the cuff. No. It's definitely lower. I think it's 45 pence. We'll assume it's 45 pence. It's certainly no more. So the standing charge is not only cheaper on Tracker versus Intelligent, we might find that it's cheaper to go onto Tracker given current prices. So let's base on today's price. Now, obviously, things can change. It could be lower tomorrow, it could be higher tomorrow. But if I was to use Octopus Tracker, we've got a total consumption of that plus that. And obviously, the beauty of this is we just plug a car in whenever we wish. We're not waiting. We can plug it in. You know, what we're doing now, as soon as we come home at lunchtime, plug the car in. Doesn't make any odds. We can turn the tumble on whenever we like. We're not restricted to 2 different rates. So it's 15 kilowatt hours a day. And we are, as I said, as at today, which is May the 8th, we were 18.56. So that's going to cost us that times 15, which is basically £2.74, £2.78, sorry. And the standing charge is 45 pence, or thereabouts. So that gives us £3.23. So you can see in our case, it's currently quite a lot cheaper to be on Tracker than it is on EVs, on Intelligent. Obviously, this isn't going to apply if you've got solar or battery storage, but if you've got one electric vehicle and your consumption in the daytime is pretty low, like ours is, there's only 2 of us in the house these days, plus a dog, it's quite a lot cheaper. Now, even if we were charging, let's say, 10 kilowatts, is that going to work? That's sorry, what am I doing? I'm not doing well today, am I? 8.75, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So let's say we were using 10 kilowatts to charge the electric vehicle, which would give us about 40 miles a day. It's still cheaper. We could probably go to 12, 13, no, 12. Okay, so 12 kilowatts in our case, which is about 50 miles a day, plus our standard use at the moment, it would still be cheaper to be on Octopus Tracker versus Octopus Intelligent. Anything more than that, it's going to vary. However, our daytime use is quite low. So let's say our daytime use was 15 kilowatts. That would cost us £5.46. Now, daytime use on Intelligent at 39.27. Let's just change that to that. Look at that, £6.85. And if we were charging 12 kilowatts, let's change that to that. Yeah, that is interesting lot. So 12 kilowatt charging, which is about 50 miles, plus 15 kilowatt hours daytime use, which isn't that insignificant if you've got children and you're using the washer a lot and the tumble dryer and that kind of thing. It is, believe it or not, still on today's rate of Tracker, £1.82 per day cheaper to be on Tracker. Now, obviously, you would load shift, so you might put your tumble dryer and your dishwasher on and get it at 7.5p. I get that. I'm just trying to be as simplistic as possible. Let's see if we were to use, 20 kilowatts of charging and 15 kilowatts daytime for everything else. We are still, according to my maths, 93 pence per day cheaper on Tracker than Intelligent. If we were to use 30 kilowatts of charging, so that's about 120 miles, we start to get cheaper on Intelligent. So £8.63 versus £8.80. And that's 15 kilowatts in the daytime. If you're using 20 kilowatts in the daytime, it becomes cheaper on Tracker. So it's going to depend, isn't it, how much you can load shift and do everything else in the cheap rate of Intelligent. And obviously things can change. Now, prices could go through the roof on Tracker. We could be paying a lot more, and as I said, it's not protected in the same way as the current price cap is. However, for me, it's a no-brainer. And as I said, for gas, wow. When we were on the price cap, and we've got a fairly big house, but there's only 2 of us in it, and we don't have the heating on that much. Like everybody, we were probably using about 80 kilowatt hours of gas a day, which on the current price cap, so let's say 10 pence, is £8 a day on gas alone, which is getting on for £300 a month. So you drop to Tracker, which at 4.29 is significantly cheaper. We assume it's 10p on price cap. It's 42% of the value. So if we were using, let's say we're using 80 kilowatts, 10p, which is £8 a day, and we're using 80 kilowatts at 0.429, that's £3.43. So we'd be saving £5.50 a day, which is what, 160 odd pounds a month to be on Tracker. It's a no-brainer. The only problem is there is a waiting list because it's very popular all of a sudden for obvious reasons. And who knows what's going to happen when the next price cap comes in. What is it, end of June? We might start to see fixed rate tariffs come along again with the energy price, wholesale energy price falling drastically over the last few months. But I just thought that was quite interesting. If you're an average EV user, say 30, 40, 50 miles a day, and you don't use a massive amount in the daytime, it could be cheaper if you are coming to the end of your tariff to look at Tracker instead of Intelligent. As I said, Tracker is variable tariff. It changes every day. It could be 40 pence tomorrow, who knows. But certainly over the last few months it's been coming down, and it's averaged, I would say, about 20 pence a unit over the last 90 days. I hope that was useful. If you are new to the channel and you're not yet an Octopus customer, there's a referral code on the description of this video. We'll get £50 each if you join Octopus through that code, so please do that. I cannot recommend Octopus highly enough. I've been with them for years, far longer than before EV tariffs came along, and their customer service is second to none. I'm not paid to say that. I'm just a customer like anybody else, but I really do recommend them. If you want to get a copy of any of my spreadsheets, we have the PCP HP voluntary termination calculator. You can put in your own figures, work out when it's best to get out of a PCP, work out what interest you're paying, work out when you can voluntarily terminate. Or we've got a salary sacrifice spreadsheet which enables you to work out if it's worthwhile joining a company salary sacrifice scheme for running an electric vehicle, along with all associated costs. These are £10 each. You can send me an email just here, or we now have the Car Finance Simplified app as well, which combines both of them and gets unlimited updates, and that's £14.99. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was useful. See you next time. Take care.